Alright, Twin Day, that means let's go.
Thank you.
Jumbo everyone, my name is Brayden, I'll be your safari guide today. Quick show of hands, is this anybody's first safari ever? Any first timers? Okay, we got a few people. That's alright. It's mine too, we're kind of doing this together. It'll be fun. Now this is a photo safari, so if you have cameras, phones, go ahead and get those out and ready. I recommend you set them to an action, maybe a sports setting, whatever captures movement best. We can't always stop for the animals. They don't always stop for us. You just kind of want to be prepared. There's going to be a lot of animals to see and get photos of while we're out there. Some of them blend in pretty well with their surroundings, so we got to look close. Check bushes, trees, tall grass, look left, right, up, down, north, south, east, west. It's free roaming safari, so we're going to look everywhere. Could be anywhere. I'm here to help out, of course. I'll point out whatever I find. But if you see something I don't, right above your heads is your spotting guide. I can help you out as well. And we're not guaranteed to see everything that's on the guide. We could see a few things that aren't on there. We'll just kind of see what happens. First area we're heading into is the Little Tree Forest. It's very dense. A lot of good hiding spots here. Not starting off too easy. Gotta start looking right away. Looks like we're already stopped for the moment. This is probably just due to some animals in the road. That's one of the benefits of a free roaming safari. If an animal sits in the middle of the road, we just kind of sit there with them. Haven't heard yet as to which animal we're waiting on. I'll let you know as soon as I know. A lot of animals here in the forest have a natural camouflage. It really helps to blend in with the shadows of the bushes and trees. Looking for darker stripes in a lot of animals is a pretty common thread. Oh, it sounds like it's bongos that we're waiting on. If you use your guide up here, you can kind of see what we're looking for. They are one of those animals that we're looking for, so they've got to be around here somewhere. Let's start over on the right. This is an okapi. It's not related to the zebra, even though it's kind of got the legs going on. It's actually the only known relative of a giraffe. If you look more at its body shape, you can kind of see their similarities. Their skeletons are almost identical. That tongue it's showing off is identical. It's about 17 inches long. As unique looking as the okapi is, it wasn't discovered by the Western world until about 1901. For an animal that big, that's insanely late. They thought it was a myth up until that point. We're in a pretty good position to find animals already, in between a couple of watering holes. Near water usually brings about the best luck, so we'll swing around, see what else we can find. It's a taller gray antelope on your right called a greater kudu. This one's a female. Males have horns that are about 6 feet long. You'll know if you see one. More kudu all over the hill. It's gonna be kind of hard to tell the size of these animals. We're up higher than you might realize. The kudu are about 5 feet tall on their shoulders. Looks like we found our troublemakers up ahead, and sure enough, it is crossing the road. So this is a bongo right in front of us. Go ahead. It's thinking about it. There he goes. Pretty big male bongo in front of us. This is the heaviest forest antelope. Now, unlike the kudu, all bongos have horns. When we get closer, you'll see they kind of twist and come together a little bit. Not so much on the male as the females, but that helps them get through the bushes, the trees, things like that. The whole herd's over here, you're gonna see one. It's also a pretty large bird called a saddle-billed stork. He's about 5 feet tall, wingspan of 9 feet. That's the same width as a truck. Wow, okay. to a very solid start. We did well around the water, so let's try to keep that up. At the crossroads here, we'll take the center route. It goes to the Sambi River. One animal that's notorious for hanging around African rivers is the hippopotamus. Hippos can swim, but they prefer to walk along the bottom of the river. There's one right there at the start of the river. Not a great angle, we'll keep looking. Usually they're in big groups. As we're searching, just keep in mind, hippos are one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. You don't want to lean too far trying to see one. Yeah, there's a second one right by those two stumps. Oh, and a lower left. A group of hippos is called a bloat. It's one of my favorite terms. They are nocturnal, that's why they're all sleeping. They'll wake up later tonight. Right in front of them, those are pink-backed pelicans. They get their name because their backs turn pink during mating season. There's also a few black vultures around. They actually help out the hippos. These vultures eat off the hippo's dead skin. Oh, also in the river, Nile crocodiles. These can get just as long as giraffe arm tall, 16 to 20 feet. And they can jump their full body length straight up out of the water. They have a couple different group names, the crocodiles. On land, they're a basque. In the water, they're a float. There's a lot of fun group names like that all throughout Africa. Float of hippos, float of crocodiles, pod of pelicans. I'll point out as many as I can as we go along. Next area we're going to head over to is the savannah. Home to a lot of different species. Pretty much half the spotting guide could be out there. We'll see how lucky we get. Over here on the right, not an animal, but we'll talk about it. This is a baobab tree. These are also called upside-down trees. The reason they're so big is because they store up water for the dry season. Dry season lasts about 9 months out of the year here in Africa, so they do pretty well. Live to be a couple thousand years old. So this is the savannah. It's going to be very open out here. There's a whole lot of space. Might not be too hard to see some of the animals, but still, you want to keep your eyes open. You'd be surprised what kind from you. You can see a few things already. And this road circles around, so we'll talk about everything. Kind of work with whatever's closest to us. If you look across the field on the right, you can see a young giraffe. They can get over 20 feet tall. The group would be a tower. Looks like there are a few more giraffe on the hill. They're a lot closer to the other side of the road, so let's take the loop and see how close they let us get. Oh, over on the left, if you look inside the little den, oh, and just to the right of it, those are African wild dogs, also called painted dogs.
You see them?
This is one of the most successful hunters in Africa. They almost always catch their prey, and whenever they do, they let their puppies eat first. A lot of people confuse these with hyenas, but they're not related. If we keep looking to the left, a little further back are the sable antelope. That's the Antelope Reserve. That's one of the very few antelope that will fight away predators instead of running from them. They're kind of territorial. They like their space. You can see they've picked a corner no one else is really in. It's probably where they're going to stay. Keep your eyes on the left on this hill. We spotted a couple giraffe up there earlier. A lot of good hiding spots up there, so it's probably best to keep an eye on it. This younger giraffe that's out and about, based on its size, it's probably about a year old, give or take a few months. Giraffe are born at 6 feet tall. This one's not too much taller, by giraffe standards anyway. There's another younger one up there. Oh, there's actually a few up there.
How are they not?
One of my favorite facts about giraffe is that they only sleep 30 minutes a day. And then little 5-minute naps. Pretty rare to find one sleeping. It's not as rare to find them eating like we did. They do that 20 hours out of the day. Different animals we can talk about coming up on the right. Right near the top of the hill with the giant horns, those are Anchovy cattle, also called Watusi cattle. Those horns are 3 to 4 feet long on average. You would think they'd be heavy or bothersome, but not really. They're mostly hollow. It's also a herd of wildebeest up that way. It's one of the best migrators in Africa. They travel around 1,000 miles every year. Looks like we found some of the adult giraffe coming up on our left. As they're eating, see if you can spot their tongue. Usually however many feet tall the giraffe is how many inches long their tongue is. So let's say this giraffe eating is, I don't know, like 17 feet tall, has a 17-inch long tongue. Their tongues are also prehensile, they can grab their food with it. It's black so it doesn't get sunburned. They're really weird. We could talk about it all day. Oh, on the left, just hop off the rocks. You're looking for mandrills. It's the world's largest and most colorful monkey. Oh, and on the right, a little easier to find, it's the African elephant. It's the world's largest land animal. They get over 12,000 pounds, 6 tons, 5,000 kilos. However you want to phrase it, they're big. Elephants are big. Usually we find elephants in a couple different groups. The bull elephants, the boys, they're usually by themselves. Looks like that's what we're seeing here. Once they reach a certain age, the bulls leave, / get kicked out of their family herds. They're too aggressive to stay around the others, so they'll spend most of their time on their own. Other side to that is the herd they're leaving, the family herd or matriarchal herd. Female elephants stick together for life. They all kind of help raise the young ones. They're definitely the ones in charge. The bulls are never too far from a herd. It's a few miles usually, close enough that they can still hear them. And sometimes they'll form herds with other bulls, but that's not always the case. Like it was for this guy. Oh, okay, so this red clay might be why that elephant's nearby. This is a favorite of theirs. They'll eat it. It's loaded with vitamins and minerals they benefit from. They'll also put it on their skin. Their skin's pretty sensitive, so they'll throw mud, dirt, and clay on their bodies as a form of protection. Yeah, see the tusk marks, the footprints around us in the clay? Oh, and even more elephants on the left. That young elephant that's by the rock, it's a little older than those giraffe we just saw. At that size, and with the tusks just starting to poke out, it's probably 3 or 4 years old, somewhere in that range. You have to have a lot of respect for the mom giraffe and elephants. Giraffe are pregnant for 18 months, elephants for 22.
I feel bad for us right now.
sweating.
You?
It's like I guess it's just the sun shining down there.
Over on the right side, you can see a bunch of adorable little gazelle called springbuck. Only 3 feet tall. However, it's the 3rd fastest animal on land. They get up to 60 miles an hour. A better view of the wildebeest and the cattle here too. Well, there's a ton around here. We've also found some greater flamingos. This is the tallest species of flamingo, also the lightest shade of pink. They'll turn this color from all the beta-carotene that's in the shrimp they eat. They're actually hatched gray. It takes them about 1.5 years to match their parents. Group's called a flamboyance. Can't forget that one. The little white birds that are with them, those aren't their babies. These are just local freeloaders, basically. Some call them ibis, either name works. Oh, looks like we've got some poachers recently. Always have to have an eye for poachers. Still a major threat to many African animals. Coming up on your left, these are the ostrich. Right away we can tell these are females, just by their feathers. Females have gray, males have black. And they're around 7 feet tall. Males are a little closer to 9. Thankfully, the ostrich do not fly. They do run though, real fast, about 45 miles an hour. There's some white rhinos down on the right. They're right where we're headed, so we're probably gonna see them again.
Faster than 45 miles.
The ostrich will use their wings when they're running, kind of stick them out, help them turn a little bit quicker, and create some air resistance. They're the fastest animal on 2 legs. Oh, I'm glad we talked about their speed. Coming up on the left, the fastest animal on land, period. This is a cheetah. They can get up to 70 miles an hour in about 3 seconds. They can only maintain their speed for about 30 seconds. It's very tiring. You can't blame them. A group's called a coalition. Oh, is that? Yeah, there's a second one crawling up over here. And a third. Okay, there's a lot. Cheetahs are a pretty good mix between small and big cat. They can weigh up to 150 pounds, but they still purr. They're the biggest cat that does that. They do most of their hunting in the daytime. It's a lot less competition from the bigger cats at that time. We want to be a little cautious around this area. That big rock formation is called a Kobe Rock. It's usually where we find lions. Lions like to use these to get up high, see their prey from a distance. Saves them a lot of effort. It's kind of perfect for them. They're only active 4 to 6 hours out of the day, so less work the better. We do have some animals coming up on the right side. These shaggy gray ones are called waterbuck. They get their name because they secrete an oil on their fur, makes them waterproof. Another good look at the white rhinos, they're on the right. Right around 5,000 pounds. Group like cats call it crash. Another ostrich, good, that's great. We'll come back around to the rhinos. We can see some lions from here.
You see him?
Group's called a pride. Oh, one's away.
Yeah.
Where that?
It's in the distance.
If the lions decide to get any more active, maybe vocal, we'll know. Their roar can be heard up to 6 miles away. crowd favorite on the left, the warthogs. If you look back by those greenish rocks, you can see a furry gray rock with tusks. Those are warthogs. They are the world's largest burrowing mammal. These big holes in the hill, they make themselves. That's what the tusks are for. Oh, okay, makes sense. The reason there's so many ostrich around is because their eggs are just under the tree on the right.
Look at
Just one ostrich egg is the equivalent of 24 chicken eggs. They're kind of big and very durable. They can stand on top, they don't crack.
that. That'd be a big,
I don't
big omelet.
recommend doing that with the mom birds all over the place, but in theory, works out okay. Those rhinos don't see us like we see them. Their vision goes to about 35 feet. Even then, it's kind of blurry. Their hearing is great. They know we're there. They just don't really care. White rhinos, a lot less territorial than most other rhinos. That's why they're in the crash. We're now leaving the savannah, but we've entered the Magadi Glen. Kind of a recent addition to the reserve. It's meant to be a transitional area for any animals being reintroduced into the wild. We'll see if anyone's using it today. Doesn't look like it's occupied, so we're going to start heading back towards the coast. There's still a lot left to do here in Africa. Right next to the safari is Gorilla Falls. It's a self-paced trail. You might see gorillas, naked mole rats, meerkats, a lot of others. There's a baby gorilla born earlier this year. Might be able to spot her. Definitely worth the trip out there. You could also take the Wildlife Express to Rafiki's Planet Watch, where there's a petting area, the animation experience. Our vet offices are up there. There's a lot you can see and learn about it that way. This is Disney, so sometimes animals like to sing and dance. Just head over to the Festival of the Lion King to check that out. There's one show every hour on the hour. Got a lot of chances to see it. If you wanted to help out the animals, you could always donate directly to Disney's Conservation Fund at all food and merchandise locations in Animal Kingdom. Helps a lot of the species we just saw, and many others you'll find all over the park and the world. If there's any wilderness explorers on board, the name of the truck is Simba 1. You get your badge back near the entrance, just remember Simba 1. I invite you to come back whenever possible. As we just experienced, no two safaris are ever quite the same. That's why we don't say goodbye around here. It's just kind of final, doesn't really work. Instead, we say kwa harini. That means go well. Kind of cheesy, but kind of sweet.